Hey guys, I want to talk today a little bit about poison ivy and poison oak and poison sumac. So this right here is poison oak, this entire growth. And you can tell by these seed pods that it has and flowers. It's got 3 leaves. They're kind of serrated, soft rounded serrations, 3 leaflets, seeds, and then earlier in the year they'll have flowers. And they grow in bushes. They can grow all kinds of different ways. Poison ivy grows on vines, but this seems around here, this poison oak grows in a bush kind of formation or a shrub. And the leaves are kind of slick, almost shiny looking. So when I first came out here, I didn't know that that poison oak was here. I knew to look out for poison ivy because back east there's a lot of that. It would typically grow in vines and it would have 3 pointed leaves, and this doesn't really look like that. But where I'm at in the west, western poison oak is very common. And it seems like it only grows in certain areas. Definitely around water, much like poison ivy. And just this whole thing is filled with it. But there's 3 things that you can do if you're allergic to it that'll prevent you from getting the rash. And just a little background on poison plants like this. Poison ivy, oak, and sumac contain a substance called urushiol, which is an oil that's found throughout the plant. And it's invisible, it's clear. It only takes a small amount to affect you. And it's not actually a poison, it's an allergen. And it causes an allergic reaction in about 70% of the people who get in contact with it. You can develop an immunity over time because it's an immune response which causes the rash. So if you get in it a lot, in theory, subsequent breakouts should be less severe. But it's a pretty potent plant. It can cause you a lot of grief. Cause bubbles and blisters all over, rashes. The oil can get on your clothes. It can spread once it's on you. When you touch other areas of your body, then you touch your clothes again, it can spread again. So you almost have to like decontaminate yourself. But I'm going to tell you a trick which will prevent you from getting out breakouts. So number 1, this is the most important, is to be able to identify the plant, to know where it's likely to be, to identify it when you see it, and the key is to avoid it. So I'm probably a little too close now, but the other things that I'll do will prevent me from getting a rash. Plus it has to be made by contact, so unless you actually physically contact the plant, you're probably not going to get it. So number 1 is avoidance. Be able to identify it. Poison ivy is the most common in poison oak, particularly in the west. Poison sumacs in some locations as well. And typically they have 3 leaves. A lot of plants have 3 leaves though, so but know like 3 identifying factors about it: the number of leaves, the type of leaves, whether they're pointed, serrated, and then anything else like the flowers or buds on them, and then how they grow, whether they grow in vines, in bushes, as individual small plants, along waterways, etc. So if you can identify it, and you're in the same area over and over again, you'll simply avoid where the plants are because they're here, but they're not other places. So like right here, it's a big cluster here, but if I look around, I don't see it in other areas. So if I just steer clear of here, I'll be fine. The second thing is to cover yourself. So even though it's warm out, I have long sleeves and pants. What that's going to do is actually prevent it from getting on to your exposed skin. And then you want to take your clothes off, wash them in hot water, and that will generally keep the oil off of your skin, or at least minimize the amount of skin that it contacts. Even just, I was wearing t-shirts and I just had breakouts all up and down my arms because it smeared on my arms, and you touch your arms a lot, smacking bugs and everything, and it covers your arms. So, you know, shorts as well, it would be all up and down your legs. Even if you grazed one plant and you just had a little patch of oil on the side, you touch it, you smear it, gets all up and down your legs, now it's on your hands, it gets in the webbing of your fingers, in between your fingers, it's all over. And you don't know it, you can't see it. So, covering your body, very important. Actually, of the three things, is probably the least important, because if you can avoid the poison ivy and you can cleanse yourself of it, it doesn't really matter if it gets on you. But certainly try to keep it off of you by wearing protective clothing. So that's number 2. Number 3, and this is equally as important as the first item, is washing and bathing. That actually doesn't even have to be bathing, it can just be the way in which you cleanse yourself of the oils. So what happens is the oil is basically like a grease, it's like an invisible grease. And picture maybe like bacon grease or something. If it gets on your hands, you can't just wash your hands off, soap and water, and it's going to be gone. There's going to be trace amounts in the webbing of your fingers, in between your fingers, certain areas that you didn't get. The thing is, you have to get all of it off, because if it's still there, that oil is going to infect and spread. So it's important that you clean thoroughly. So the method that I use is a washcloth, hot water, really, really hot water, and this is in the shower. So the first thing I do, it's most likely going to be on my hands, and that's where I'm going to spread it. So I take the washcloth and I actually scrub each finger, all the way around each finger, scrub in between each finger, up and down, and I just rub really hard. And this is something that you wouldn't normally do. You may wash pretty good, but you have to actually scrub your skin hard, and it's uncomfortable. You don't have to rub your skin off, but you have to scrub it really hard. So be methodical. Scrub your hands and fingers really, really good. Keep rinsing out that washcloth in case there's a lot of oil built up. Clean it off, soap it up again, do the other hand, then go up your arms, get the inside of your arms, your elbows, armpits, everywhere. You'll want to do your groin good too, because if you use the bathroom out in the woods and you had it on your hands, it will spread there. Everybody knows that it can spread there, so wash that good too. Obviously, you should be if you were in shorts, do your legs really good. You don't necessarily have to do the rest of your body that good. I would definitely, wash and maybe run the washcloth over you. But you don't have to scrub the way you would on your arms and hands. But scrub them really, really good. Maybe even do it twice, rinse, scrub again, then just use soap, rinse off again, and just thoroughly wash that off, because you have several hours. The sooner the better that you clean, but generally within 8 hours, if you can clean that off, it's the oil isn't going to take effect, because it takes a while for the immune response and the allergic reaction to kick in. So I could jump in here now, rub it all over me, go home right away, wash off. Probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. It's not an immediate infection. It's not like a snake bite or something where you're screwed as soon as you get in contact with it. So you have time, but utilize that time and get yourself clean. If you don't have a shower, if you're just out in the woods, whether it's camping, survival, bug out, whatever, find a body of water. There's a creek right by here. And you're not going to have hot water, you're probably not going to have soap, but you can still remove the oil with a bandana and just scrub and scrub and scrub using water. If you can find maybe charcoal, make a charcoal solution. Anything that'll absorb and neutralize that oil and rinse it off of you is going to be good. The less oil on you, the better. So it's extremely important that you get clean as quickly as possible and get that oil off of you. If you do that, you generally won't have much problem with it at all. The people who have really bad problems are those who are prone to have an allergic reaction, which is a lot of people. They don't know that they've been in contact with it, or they didn't take it seriously, and they didn't clean properly afterwards. So I mean, if you ever see anyone who's got a really bad poison ivy rash, ask them where they got it. If they cleaned afterwards, I guarantee that they'll tell you that they probably didn't know that they were in it, or that they just washed normally. They'll be like, yeah, I took a shower, but you have to specifically scrub the affected areas meticulously, I should say, to get that oil off. So that's really important. So if you follow those tips whenever you're exposed to this plant, you shouldn't have any problems. I hope that was helpful, guys. Appreciate the views. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.